What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde live. That's right, live here with Eagles News Now. And I'm trying out a new third-party streaming service since I'm not quite at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's StreamYard. I said that if you guys have watched any of my other videos, I haven't really deep dived into the NFL schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles yet. I'm not going to do a complete deep dive, but I'm going to give my first impressions on who and where the Eagles are going to be playing this year as far as primetime games, afternoon games, early games. So this is more of a test situation than anything. If I get anybody in here, that'll be pretty awesome as well. So here we go. And see, my daughter is in the chat room. What's up, Faith? They're probably going to make a bunch of noise when they come in. I'm actually broadcasting from my home bar, 4133, the expensive studio chair and studio mic. I usually reserve those for my other videos on YouTube. I've got this really nifty Philadelphia Eagles kind of podcasting microphone I'm using today. Faith, I love you too. How do I sound over there, Faith? How's everything looking? Good? We'll see. As you know, I'm talking to my daughter. She actually did my video on Eagles News Now about the Eagles schedule release. And I think she did a hell of a job. I really do. Almost at 100 views. I would hope to get more. But we'll see. This is kind of a new endeavor for me. Anybody that's watching me for the first time here. Streaming live is an important thing for me, especially when the NFL season begins. I usually go to a decent amount of the games. At least last year I did, thanks to some really awesome people with Fourth and John that helped myself and my brother get to a game. And then me and my father always go to at least one a year. So I would love to actually stream the experience live, the tailgating. It's a huge thing. And I know it's probably going to be a little bit different this year, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just, let me see here. My daughter says I'm a little bit glitchy on the camera. That could be on her end, of course, because she is not using Wi-Fi. She's getting some absolutely disgusting McDonald's right now. Nothing against anybody that eats McDonald's, but so let's get to this schedule, guys. First off, just looking at the schedule, I actually like it. I think the guys that make the schedule were not tough on the Eagles this year. I mean, they won the division, so they're gonna have a first place schedule. We all know that. And I don't think this is that bad. Now, they do play some really tough teams, but you're gonna get that every year. Every year they're gonna play tough teams. So let's just start off with week one. Okay, week one, again, they play the Washington Redskins in Washington. Now this year, the first game was against Washington at home. The year before that, who did they play? They played Atlanta on Thursday, and the year before that, when they won the Super Bowl, they played at Washington. So some good juju there. As you know, if they do have fans, and this is a big issue here too as well, the whole fan thing. I made a video yesterday about what it would be like having games without fans, and I think that might be the route that the NFL goes on. If they do go that way, hey, I'm cool with it. Absolutely 100% cool with it because, I want football. And I think that's how everybody feels. We want some kind of sports. We want some kind of sports in our life, and we have none. So if they don't have fans, look, Washington is an empty stadium anyway. When the Eagles play, they actually get fans because they're all Eagles fans. So this might be like a home game for the Eagles, even though it is their home opener, Washington's home opener. So they might have more Washington fans. There's always that hope in the beginning of the year that quickly fades by like week 6. Shout out to all my Redskin friends out there. But week 1 at Washington, I'm looking at it right now, and I didn't really want to do a deep dive because I still think that this Eagles roster, there's a couple pieces that are on the street right now that are going to be in Eagles green, whether that's defensive end. You look at Jadeveon Clowney, Everson Griffin. I've talked about all these guys in prior videos on the channel, possibility of a trade for maybe a guy like Yannick Ngakoue. Cornerback, maybe they add another corner, and then I think they're going to add a veteran running back as well. So week 1, they play the Washington Redskins. I would bet my life on this game that the Eagles win, and I think they're going to win big. I really do. Now, look, Washington has an improved defense, obviously. I just think that this offense is going to look so different, and I'm going to do a video about that. But the Eagles had one of the oldest teams in the league last year. I think they were top 5, and now they're the top 9 youngest teams in the league. There's a lot of speed there. Again, who knows what's going to happen with injuries? Who knows if there's going to be a preseason? So many questions up in the air. But I think the Redskins are just not going to know how to prepare for this offense because they don't know what the offense is going to be. A lot of different offensive coaches, a lot of different pieces. So I really do believe that the Eagles take this one. And also Dwayne Haskins, even though I have a really weird feeling that he might not start the season, because Ron Rivera got his quarterback from Carolina traded. Who's it? Kyle. Can't think of it off the top of my head because this isn't a deep dive. But he won some games over there in Carolina, and I could see him maybe upseating Dwayne Haskins. But if Dwayne Haskins does play, and this guy, again, he was a rookie last year, so he threw a lot of interceptions. He's going to go up against a secondary that is completely restocked and reloaded. So I think that's a win there. Week 2 at home versus the Rams. Look, I'm looking at I'm going to be honest with you again. Normally when I do these videos, I have a notebook of research. This is just off the wing. The Rams, I know that they lost some pieces. I know they lost Brandon Cooks. They still have a good offensive line. Jared Goff, is he going to be the Jared Goff of a couple years ago? Is he going to be the Jared Goff of last year? I think Sean McVay definitely wasn't happy not making the playoffs, and they're going to look to make a statement here. Now, this is going to be the home opener, and again, if there's fans in those seats, I think this is an Eagles win. I really do. If not, this is a toss-up. Doug Peterson seems to have Sean McVay's number. But the hell with it. I'm going to put a W there. Week 2 versus the Rams at home. Week 3, they play at home versus the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Now, look, the Bengals absolutely sucked last year. I don't think that is I don't think that that's a controversial statement there. They were absolutely terrible. However, you got Joe Burrow, rookie. You got T. Higgins is going to be a rookie on that team. Joe Mixon is a hell of a running back. They did okay during the draft, but look, they're not coming into Philadelphia and beating the Eagles. It's just not going to happen. So I'm definitely putting that down as a win. So look, I've got them 3-0 right now, guys. Don't be surprised if I end up with 16-0 at the end of this. Again, we'll see. Week 4. This is the game I'm waiting to see. My dog, by the way, is absolutely driving me insane right now. I think that there's a dog around the corner or something that's in heat, a female dog. I have a male dog, and he has been, if you hear this whining in the background, he's been doing it nonstop for about 3 days. It's so annoying. Like, just listen to this. Oh, my God. Just got done walking him. It's not that he has to go to the bathroom. It is just absolutely annoying, and it's really hard to do a video at all, which is another reason why I'm going live here. From bar 4133. So look, week 4, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2017 NFC champions, face last year's NFC champions in Cali versus the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Now, Sunday Night Football, as you guys all know, is the new Monday Night Football. I mean, if you remember, at least when I was growing up, like Monday Night Football and Faith Cover Your Ears. It was the shit. Like, it was awesome. Time to a certain point, it's really felt off. Probably the past 5 years, Sunday Night Football is kind of the new thing. This is a big game, guys, especially if the Eagles walk into this 3-0. And again, I'm not sure who the Niners play the first 3 weeks. There's a good possibility they could be 3-0 as well. This has like star-studded game of the week written all over it, guys. It really does. It's, to me, the 49ers did not get worse during the offseason. They didn't. They made a hell of a trade for Trent Williams. As Joe Staley retires, they bring in Trent Williams. Not going to miss a beat there. They had a really good draft. They still got the quarterback, Garoppolo, who, look, I'm not exactly as high on him as others are. The running back situation is good. The wide receiver situation is good. Bubble Ducko, thanks, dude. Appreciate you coming on here with me today. Talking Niners right now and Eagles week 4 Sunday Night Football. Man, this one is this is gonna be a close game. If again, this is first impressions. It's gonna be a close game. I'm having the Eagles winning it on Sunday night in California. I'm having it. What's up, Lo? I just have that if they're gonna be 3-0, I don't think they disappoint here. And if Marquise Goodwin is healthy, there's my player of the game in a revenge game. The Marquise Goodwin revenge game, week 4, Sunday Football at the 49ers. We go to week 5 at the Steelers. This is a hard one to call because I'm not sure who we're getting at quarterback for the Steelers. Is Ben Roethlisberger going to be playing at week 5? Is he going to be 100%? Shoot, I'm going to go another W for the Birds. They're going to beat the Steelers, and they're going to be 5-0 walking into week 6. Hey, what's up, Brian? Brian Feely in the house. Slide over, I have a black and tan Yuengling Guinness. That's what I'm talking about, dude. My late brother, I was never like, we were talking about beers here. I was never a dark beer guy. My brother, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and my other brothers too, they love the Guinness, man. They love the Guinness. I can drink it in his memory. But yeah. Back to week 5 win. Brian, I got the Eagles 5-0. This is just a first impressions on this schedule. I haven't done a deep dive yet. I'm going to eventually, when this roster kind of rounds out, I think there's a couple big moves that are going to be made. I don't think they're done. I don't think Howie's done yet. We go to week 6 at home versus the Ravens. Man, I know so many Ravens fans. It's unreal. I really love what Ozzie Newsome has done with this team. Lamar Jackson was unreal last year. I don't think he misses a beat this year. Second year for Hollywood Brown. They made some really good moves. I think this is the Eagles' first loss, guys. I hate to say it, but I think week 6 could be the Eagles' first loss against the Ravens. And I think it's going to be a close game. And I think it's going to be a defensive game. Even though you have all that offense on the field, I really do believe that these two defenses are going to go at it. And it's not going to be exactly a high-scoring game, but I think that the Ravens win. I really do. Not by much at all. Week 7, the Eagles play their, it seems, annual Thursday night home game versus the Giants. Actually, I'm lying to you. They didn't play Thursday night last year against the Giants. There's no way that I'm picking the Giants to beat the Giants have not done enough to their team during the offseason. Dog's still whining. It is unbelievable. Thursday night, I think that's going to be probably a blackout game. I think it's going to be a blowout. I just do. Daniel Jones, I don't even know if he's going to be the quarterback by week 7. If I'm a Giants fan, I don't like this guy as quarterback, to be honest with you. Didn't show me much last year. And the guy, he had a decent offense around him, no offensive line. But week 8, so where are we at now? We're at 6-1. Going into week 8, Sunday night at home versus the Dallas Cowboys. Again, week 8, a lot can happen. We know that last year, by week 8, we almost had all practice squad players playing at this time. Brian said I'll replay the beginning later. See, I've got to find now. Oh wow, you're in India. 6:40 a.m. in India. Wow, damn man. Thanks for starting your morning with me, dude. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Restart the beginning. I a little bit later. This is more like a test video for StreamYard. Hopefully by the season start, I can get to 1,000 subscribers. Do it mobily from YouTube. It'll be a whole lot easier. So I'm kind of I'm testing out StreamYard. So far, it's been pretty good, man. Like I usually use OBS for the live streams, and StreamYard has just been so much easier so far. Jock Talk, hey, what's going on, man? Talking Eagles schedule. Just quick impressions. I'm at week 8, Sunday night at home versus the Cowboys. It came on at a great time. So look, man, the only game I have us losing so far is against the Ravens. Now look, I think there's a possibility that we could have dropped one to the Rams and the Niners or one or the other, but I just feel like this Eagles offense is going to be so much different. First off, it's going to take a while for, you know how it is. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, you look at teams like that, when there's a kind of a different offense for a team, it takes a while for the other teams to get film on it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Sunday night at home versus the Cowboys, it's going to be electric. It's going to be awesome. Past couple of years, we've had trouble. I hate the Cowboys too. Can't stand them. We've had trouble beating the Cowboys early in the season. I think this is, and again, I'm talking if everyone's healthy from the Cowboys and the Eagles. This is going to be a great game, I believe. And I think the Eagles beat them, man, at home. I really think they beat them early in the season. There's going to be a lot of talk about CeeDee Lamb and him going there. And I think you're going to see Jalen Reagor is going to have a big game because it's going to be his. And look, we're at week 8. We're going to know if he's a bust or not. Probably by that. We knew with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, right? Jock Talk says we will beat the Ravens with our speed at linebacker. That's a good point. Now, I've not to get too off course here, but like I've really thought about our linebackers. I've wanted to do a video on the fact that we haven't really gotten many in free agency. It really shored up that position. But what they have done is gotten really fat. Davion Taylor, they're calling him like a project, but they got him at the 3rd round, and he is fast as shit. And I'm going to do a video on him in the next couple of days. We do have a lot of speed at linebacker, which means our linebackers can cover. I'm a little worried about TJ Edwards at middle linebacker. We'll see how he does because that's a quarterback of your defense. Brian says he's a little worried about our lack of prep time for all the rookies. Absolutely, man, because there's going to be no as far as right now, and it's weird because it feels like everything's starting to open up. At least here I'm broadcasting out of Delaware. Things are slowly starting to open up, but there's going to be no rookie mini camps. That would have already started already, I believe. OTAs might not happen. Your practices are going to be limited. They're definitely not going to be open to the public, which is another thing that's going to kill me because I go every year with the kids and the family. But it's going to affect everybody. So everybody's rookies are going to be behind the 8 ball. Now, the Eagles are probably going to depend on a guy like Jalen Reagor and some of their other rookies a little bit more than other teams. Like you look at the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb's right now a 3rd wide receiver on that team, even though he's probably going to end up being the best on that team. But I think that this coaching staff, and if you look at all the offensive coaches that these guys have brought in, Rich Scangarello, awesome, at least from what I hear. Marty Morningwig, look, I'm not a Marty Morningwig guy, but he's been around the league for a long time. He's played under some good head coaches. He's in there. You got Doug, Aaron Moorhead at wide receiver coach. I feel like this offense is going to be good, and they're going to get these rookies where they need to be. Jock Talks in Cali, awesome, man. One of my best friends that I wrestle with or used to wrestle with, Bazooka Joe, lives in San Diego. I was there back in 2016. Time of my life. Can't wait to eventually get back there, guys. It's just tough, man, because not only do I wrestle, but I'm a correctional officer here in Delaware. So my time is just like I can't find enough time to do anything. But hopefully I can get back to the West Coast soon, maybe for a game. Who knows? So after the Cowboys game, it's bye week time. Eagles get the rest. Week 9. I don't know about you guys, but I love that. Pretty much dead in it's halfway point of the season. I like it, man. A perfect time because that's going to be that week 8 game, win or lose, is going to be an emotional game. Again, I have them winning. The only team I have them losing to so far is the Ravens. So we're at 7-1 going into week 9 bye. I think the Eagles are looking good. Jock Talk says, do you give out wrenches? So this is my first go with StreamYard. I haven't really gotten into everything I need to get into, but eventually, definitely, I'm going to give out wrenches, and everyone that's in here now can definitely get one once I figure out how to do that. So after the bye week, we face the New York Giants, week 10, at New York. Again, guys, I hate to say this, but I feel like there's 2 games, week 10 against the Giants and week 11 at the Browns. I feel like one of those games is going to be one of those games that they slip up on. I'm going to say Giants only because we have just absolutely destroyed them for years. Every dog gets his day at some point, and maybe coming off a bye week, the Eagles take this a little bit lately against the Giants, and the Giants sneak by with a win to end the Eagles' streak there. I just have that feeling, and that's going to be their second loss. I mean, and again, I haven't really dug deep into this. I'm sure everything will change once I dig deep in a couple of days or a couple of weeks whenever I feel like the Eagles got their roster in check. Week 11 at the Browns. If they lose to the Giants, they're killing the Browns, and vice versa. I don't think the Browns. I think the Browns are going to be an issue. I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to start the year with the Browns. You heard it here first. I would rather lose to the Browns. Me too, dude. So, my father made me an Eagles fan. He lived in Philadelphia. My mother's side, they all lived in Jersey. So my mother's side are all Giant fans. So whenever they play, man, it's like walking on pins and needles. Like, I hate if they lose, I'm going to hear it until they play again. It's insane. So yeah, and I hate all the NFC East teams too. You're right, Zach Buck. We have to beat all NFC teams. I hate the Giants. I loathe the Cowboys with every stitch of my body. Funny story, when I met my wife, she had a Cowboys pillow in her living room. And I was like, I'm not stepping foot in this place until that thing is out of here. Like, it can't be there can't be anywhere near me. So, and whenever the Eagles lose to the Cowboys, I always bring that up as being bad juju. But Brian says, I'm always feeling the way you're super positive after the offseason. We struggle early in the season. Feels like they're always trying to play catch up. Yeah, man. It's been like that the past couple of years. It really has. And I think it's because of the injuries. Look, I cannot think of a team. And golly, I would love to do I could do multiple videos on this. Even the Super Bowl year, this team can you think of another team that has lost the people that they have lost? I'm talking 2017. They lose their franchise quarterback, their Hall of Fame left tackle, their stud middle linebacker, one of their corners for most of the year. Like, it just everybody just fell off. They still won the Super Bowl because they had a hell of a roster. Then 2018, all the secondary goes. They lose everybody. I'm talking, you've got Chandon Sullivan playing in the game, his brother Chester Sullivan, their cousin Richard Sullivan. I mean, it was crazy to me, right? You had a couple Sullivans on there, but you get my point. They lose in the playoff against the Saints. They lose Brandon Brooks. Fletcher Cox sits out for a little while. And then we all know what happened last year, man. They lost everybody. They really did. And even going back to 2018, you get Torrey Smith retires. Or no, he went to Carolina. I'm sorry. Torrey Smith goes to Carolina. You trade him to Carolina. You bring in – damn it, I had it. Who they brought? I can't remember who they brought in. Maybe you guys, the wide receiver from the Ravens. I can't remember. Damn, it's gonna bother me. Anyway, he goes out week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's out. We had nobody at wide receiver until we got Golden Tate, and then Mike Rowe said he didn't know how to use Golden Tate. And then, like I said, 19, Mike Wallace. There you go. Thank you so much, Mike Wallace, because that would have bothered me all night. And 2019 was insane. That's why I tell Cowboy fans that are like so happy that they got CeeDee Lamb and they had a good draft. Sure, they did. But the Cowboys always have talented teams and they don't get the job done. Our practice squad guys beat their team last year. Practice squad dudes. So can you imagine? I got you back. Thanks. Can you imagine if we have at least 1 year where minimal injuries and we're playing a team against like the Cowboys? And let me tell you something right now. As long as Jerry Jones is the GM, I don't care who they bring in as coach. All right. It doesn't matter. This team, I am not scared of the Dallas Cowboys one bit. Does it suck they got CeeDee Lamb? Absolutely. But Doug Peterson wins with nothing. So does Carson Wentz. They win with, Doug, the job that he has done. And man, I'm getting kind of off track here, but they do have a half-baked donor, Brian. You're absolutely right. But you look at after 2017 and they struggled in 18, and everyone's, Frank Reich was the guy that made this thing go. DiFilippo was the guy that helped make this thing go. Well, DiFilippo was fired. Frank Reich's a hell of a coach, don't get me wrong. But I think Doug showed his balls last year by having this practice squad, these bad news bears type of guys, for lack of a better term, come in and make playoffs. They made the playoffs. And here's another thing while I'm at this, and I'll get back to the schedule. I can't stand hearing analysts and other fans of other teams saying, "Oh, well, Carson beat," and I agree. Jock Talk, Wentz is the man. That's my dude. That's my dude. Peterson's really amazing the second half of seasons. That's why they rate. Yeah, absolutely, man. He gets it. He finds a way to motivate teams to get it in gear. But this Eagles team, and Carson last year, what they did, everyone says, well, who they played the last 4 games? You played the Giants, who were terrible. You played the Redskins, who were terrible. You played the Cowboys, who gave up. Number one, these teams get paid to, okay? They get paid to play. You have to play them. It's a division game, so no matter how sorry the team is, they're going to want to – you think that the Giants didn't want to knock the Eagles out of the playoffs? You think the Redskins didn't want to hurt the Eagles' chances of making the playoffs? And the Cowboys, for everybody that says last year that the Dallas Cowboys had already given up on the coach and the team, the week before they played the Eagles in Philly, they destroyed the Los Angeles Rams, absolutely destroyed them. And everyone it was talking about what the Cowboys were going to do in the playoffs, and these stars were going to do in the playoffs, and they were finally back. And this team that everyone picked to go to the Super Bowl was finally back. And what did they do? They came to Philly. They got beat by practice squad guys. And of course, there's another thing. Oh, Dak's shoulder was hurt. Well, the next week, the Cowboys killed the Redskins. So there goes that. It's Wentz and Peterson are I don't want to go reach too far here, but man, they're definitely a Sean Payton, Drew Brees like tandem. They just are. Okay, and if Carson can stay upright, knock on wood, big things are going to happen. So week 12, Monday night at home, revenge game versus the Seahawks. W all the way. There's no way they're losing this game. There's no way they are going to lose this game. The Eagles are owned by the Seahawks. They just, for whatever reason, we can't beat this team. Whether it's at home, whether it's away, we cannot figure out a way to beat the Seahawks. And if Carson Wentz doesn't get that cheap shot by Jadeveon Clowney last year, which apparently nobody has an issue with anymore, I would love Clowney on this team because he'd be doing that to somebody else's quarterback, but he is a cheap player. There's no doubt. There is no way that Doug Peterson is going to lose to the Seahawks. It's not going to happen. That's a W. Monday night, it's at home. You bet your ass they're going to be wearing black jerseys. After revenge game. So I have 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins. 5 wins and a loss. 6 wins, 7 wins. 7-2. Now we're 8-2. Green Bay in Lambeau at 4:00. I have this one down as an L, guys. This is a Green Bay revenge game. And again, we're just saying everybody's healthy here. The Eagles beat them last year in Lambeau. I'm sure that the Packers have not forgot about that, and the Eagles are going to be coming off an emotional Monday night game, short week against Green Bay. This is a string of 4:00 games after this. They play the Saints, so we're at what? They play the Saints at home at 4:00. That's another win, guys. What's up, Stephen Joyce? That's another win for me. Malcolm Jenkins comes back, but just like Brian Dawkins came back with the Broncos, they're going to lose. The Saints are going to lose that game. Again, they've had the Eagles' number. I think this is the Doug Peterson revenge tour, and it starts week 12, and they're going to beat. I think they're going to beat the Saints as of right now. Jock Talk says, which bullshit is no matter what, it's the offense. They show the Eagles getting beat on defense. When they show defense, they show offense scoring on offense. It's bullshit by the media. Absolutely, because for whatever reason, local media and national media has this thing against Carson Wentz, and it's all because Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. I love Nick Foles, man. If you look around here, I've got tons of Nick Foles memorabilia everywhere. But, man, Carson has got to escape that shadow, and this could be the year. Week 15 at the Cardinals, 4:00. I have this as a letdown. Again, they are coming off of two really tough games, two tough emotional wins against the Seahawks and the Saints. I think they got to travel all the way to Arizona. I think that close game, but I think they slip up here. The trap game, as we say. Week 16 at the Cowboys, 4:00. I'm having the Eagles sweep the Cowboys this year. I really am. And then they're going to beat the Washington Redskins at home. So, look, I could have said 16-0 all day, guys. I really could. And, again, this isn't a deep dive. I'll get into a deep dive. But I have them losing against the Ravens. I have them losing against the Giants. And I have them losing against Green Bay. So, yeah, and the Cardinals. So I'm looking at 12-4. I'm looking at 12-4 all day. It's possible. This team stays healthy, and this offense is what I think it's going to be, which is speed. It's going to – and if they can get their running game in check too. I mean, look, man, this offense, guys, is a good offense. It really is. Who knows what's going to happen with Alshon Jeffrey? All right, so I'm not going to put him in the equation. If he gets healthy, he's not. I don't think he's going to start the season. But Deshaun Jackson, Marquise Goodwin, Jalen Reagor, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Corey Clement, maybe a veteran running back like Carlos Hyde. Great offensive line. They can stay healthy. Now, look, there's going to be a question about Andre Dillard, and if the Eagles bring back Jason Peters is a big if there. However, I mean, this is a good offense, and then you've got X factors too. There's X factors like John Hightower, Kez Watkins. I'm a fanboy for Kez Watkins. I have never felt so strong about a guy making impact than I do him. And I know people are going to say he struggles against good teams. So did T. Higgins, okay? But what he can do, he's fast and he makes plays in the red zone. He does. Check out his film. Brian says, wouldn't it be fun to run up scores for a change? Yeah, man, dude. I tell my dad, I watch these games with my father just about every week. And my brother, my brother's in the military. He's in North Carolina right now. But when he's down, we go to the games, we watch the games. I always say, being an Eagles fan, it's not easy. These guys don't do things easy. I remember watching the championship game against the Vikings, and even though they were up, what was it, 28-7 at one point, I still didn't feel good because it's, like you said, it's just never easy. I want all three rookie wide receivers to make the team. I do this every year with the rookies because I always feel like I thought J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was going to be good, but I really feel like these guys are good guys that they got. And I've been telling friends of mine, other people that watch the channel, a guy like John Hightower does not go in the 5th round during any other draft. This draft was so unique and so deep with wide receivers that this guy would have been probably a 3rd round pick. And I've even seen draft boards that had him as a 3rd round pick, even in this deep draft. And Kez Watkins, I think he goes higher too. I really do. Because they don't just do one thing. Now Hightower is a kind of, I think he needs to get a little bit stronger, kind of a skinny guy. But like Kes Watkins and Hightower they can play special teams. They get kicked, they get punt, or not kicked. That'd be funny. Kick returns, punt returns. And that's another big issue last year. Our kick return and punt return game was horrible. I mean, it was fair catches nonstop. And that might be the way that the NFL does the kickoffs. What I would love to see the NFL do, and this is getting completely off topic. I don't know if you guys watched any XFL games this year, but the way that they did kickoffs was awesome. Just you got to look it up through YouTube. I got a video on the XFL actually on my channel. It would be way more exciting. I hope Killens makes it. Yo, a lot of Eagles fans really hope that he does. One of my good friends, Adam Payton, that watches the show, loves this guy. Is like, dude, there's no way that this guy is not making big plays on some team this year. I'm just going to be interested to see what they do with the running backs. Michael Warren, I really liked it. I did a video on him, and I really like the way he runs. Big bruising running back. Does Corey Clement find his form? This was a guy that was a Super Bowl hero. He made some huge plays in that game, the biggest game in the Eagles' history. What happens there? Miles Sanders is a stud. I'm really hoping Boston Scott stays on the trajectory that he is as well and doesn't kind of fall back because he made some amazing plays for us too last year. But there's a lot more film on him. Brian says, hey, man, I got to run. Literally, time for morning exercise. Awesome. Dude, I hate running. I've been doing that since the gym has been closed. I can't stand it. Blast getting to have a drink virtually in chat. Yeah, man. Cheers. Can't wait to your channel take off. Thanks, Brian, dude. I really appreciate that. And those words mean a lot. And I'm actually about to run as well. If you cannot hear, my dog is absolutely annoying the shit out of me with whining. I'm going to go see what the issue is there, guys. Thanks, everybody. Jock Talk and Brian Feely, again, thank you so much for joining the live stream, my first live stream on StreamYard, one of a lot of many. And he just won't stop. I don't get it. But I'm going to make some food, guys. Again, thanks everybody for watching. And Doc Talk and Brian, I'm going to work on those wrenches as well and see what I can do. I really like this StreamYard software. I really do. I'm having a blast here, and I can talk to you guys forever. But duty calls, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. I really, really just want to get to 1,000 so I can stream live mostly from games if I'm allowed to go come the start of the season. But again, thanks guys for all your support. Jock Talk, I enjoyed talking to you too. And I'm going to do a deeper dive into this schedule. But man, 12-4, I think I'm going to stay firm on it. I really do. I think the Eagles can do it this year and maybe possibly get to that promised land. Once again, thanks guys. Go Birds. I'll see y'all later.